as we say every single Monday morning, tis a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to a Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. It is a special day. Special day. It is the last day, as Dave has mentioned in the chat there, it is the last day of the most recent Ghostbusters Haslab. It is the last day of 2 in a Box. So I figured I'd wear my my Sunday best. This is your weekly Monday morning nerdy show where we sit back, relax, enjoy traditionally a nice hot cup of brew. Wow. First voice break of the day. We normally enjoy a nice hot cup of brew, but today we have a nice cold cup of brew. We will talk the news. First sip always, wow. First sip always feels so good. We have some stuff to talk about today. It's been a good week, I could say, overall. Hopefully you guys have had a good week as well. If you've had or have created or currently have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shits. Plug yo shit. By the way, I will say, if you end up hearing the hum of the pack, let me know. Let me know if it's like overwhelming. I don't think I hear it in the headphones, but I can't tell. I actually have 2 packs running. I have my not Haslab, my New York Comic Con 80% Spirit pack running there, and then on the bottom we have our new full size pack that we will be modding. So a lot of fun stuff. I figure, like I said, get dressed for the occasion. But before we continue, let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Steve in the house, good to see ya. Yukon Phil in the house. So on my phone, you are the first one here. So I'm going to go based on that, even though Ecamm says otherwise. First in the chat, good to see you. Dave in the house, good to see you. He says, Haslab's still climbing 21,666. Could easily hit 22. I mean, if they had come up with another stretch goal 25, they might still hit 25 tonight. But I think a lot of people already backed it. I think unlike the usual wait till the end, don't get me wrong, there's still people who are doing that. But I think most people have already backed it if they plan on backing it. So, but we'll see. 25 would be pretty cool. Rolando in the house, good to see you. Everybody saying hi to each other. T3 in the house, he says, dang, I thought it was going to be at 6:15, a.k.a. 9:15 on the East Coast. Shout out to those of you on the West. Shout out to all of you, by the way. Hope all is well after all the crazy storms that are happening down south. In the center of the country, I guess. Like, there was a whole storm that, like, it's kind of been working its way over. It's reached us last night, I think. We just have rain, but I know some of you had, like, tornadoes and storms and stuff, so hopefully everybody's well. Dave says that's a sexy pint glass. Yes, it is. It is the one of one nerd affiliated pint glass. Don't lie, that's a pint of Guinness with a splash of cream. It's funny, as I was reading that, I was like, no, it's too light to be Guinness. But then I was like, oh, yeah, splash of cream. That's funny. Aaron Waller in the house, good to see you. And Phil says, hot or cold, coffee always gets the job done. There you go. There you go. Dave says he does not hear the hum. Awesome. That's great. That means my dynamic microphone is working just fine. That's how it starts. He's got 2 packs. Now it's addicting. I mean, technically, I got 3. So yeah. K-Walk in the house. Good to see ya. Steve says, what's for breakfast? I actually today, am I out of focus? I'm out of focus. What is it focusing on? It might have been the pack. Today was the usual eggs, but I added meatballs to it. Broke them up, sprinkled them on there. Got the idea from a diner up here that does they call it a cheeseburger omelet. It's just burger, onions, cheese, and I know some places do like the Big Mac burger, so they'll add like shredded up lettuce, special sauce. But I just did meatballs and cheese. Drain the house, good to see ya. T3 says, oh, by the way, my Target had no more black and white Batman 66 figures. Darn. Yeah, by the time I grabbed Robin in black and white, I was like, because he's only $6. I was like, oh, I might as well get Batman. Can't find it for cheap price. Dave says, my wife told me she has secured the Haslab for me as a Christmas gift. I don't hit the applause a lot, but I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you with this one. As a as a Christmas gift through a family friend, so I'm psyched given my current situation. Yes. Everybody keeps sending those vibes over to Dave. He's going through it right now. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, if anybody deserves this Haslab, it's Dave. And I was like, the timing of losing your job and all that didn't work. So I'm glad you're able to make it happen. Shout out to your wife for making it happen. She's the real MVP. All right. Well, let's get the show on the road. Let's see. We'll go into nerd news and then talk some stuff as we usually do. So, actually, before we do nerd news, obviously I'm in the mood. I decided yesterday to watch Answer the Call, aka Ghostbusters 2016, aka the all-lady Ghostbusters movie. Originally, I was going to do it as a stream. That was a plan Anthony and I had months ago. We're like, we'll do a live stream, watch it together. I thought it'd be interesting because he's the lifelong fan. I'm the more new fan, the more rookie fan, to get like two perspectives of this movie that people tend to bash. I'm here to report. I enjoyed the movie. Now, here's the thing. I will knock this out. We were in the group chat. We're talking about it. And I said it at the same time like Anthony was typing it, and then he said it. And Anthony still has not seen it. So I might still watch party it with him. But I think where the movie fails is it truly does want to reboot Ghostbusters. And in the current day and age, and I count 2016 as current day and age, but in the realm of movies that we're in, we're past wanting reboots. Like, people are just sick of reboots, right? We're sick of it now. We were sick of it then. And it very much wants to reboot the franchise. It even includes cameos from the OG cast in the movie. And as the movie was going on, I was like, all right, you could fit this in the original lore, but, maybe it's like slightly not, maybe kind of could be, And then as things go on, and then when I watched the commentary afterwards, I didn't finish it, but I was watching the behind the scenes. They blatantly were like, we want to make this its own thing. We want to redo the universe, all that. And that was not necessary. You didn't have to do that. Anthony said, and I agree, again, he hasn't seen it, they could have all easily been like the daughters of whoever. Like, you could have just written it that way. But it's not a bad movie. The humor in it is very much that time period of humor. There's even a character, I won't spoil it. There's a character in it that's in another movie, another non-Ghostbusters movie, literally playing like the same person, same kind of jokes. And I was like, this is that. So I thought Answer the Call was pretty good. I think it falls, Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters Afterlife, top 2, obviously. I had just watched Ghostbusters 2 the night before as I was doing my pack builds. So I think it still falls under part 2, but it's not that far off. So give it a shot if you haven't seen it. I also was thinking, I wish the movie performed better, because I would have loved to see, now that I'm in the world, like spirit packs of that movie version proton pack. I think that would have been cool to see. Dave says the movie has its moments. Had they set the movie in another city, it would have succeeded. Setting in New York City and having original actors play hokey cameos was a slap at some fans. Not at all. Yeah, it was having all the cameos. If they want to be really, really cheesy about it, they could be like, oh, this is like an alternate universe, and then they somehow cross over, blah, blah, blah. Like, sure, you could. But they were like, when I was watching the director commentary, they were like proud to reboot. And like even Dan Aykroyd was like, yeah, like it's great. Like I'm glad I'm a part of it. Ernie, I'll say Ernie Reyes Jr. Ernie Hudson was like, he's just happy to be there. Like he loves the fact that he could still be involved with Ghostbusters. Like all that was cool, but it should have been a true sequel. It should have been a sequel. Phil says, have you gotten into the real Ghostbusters cartoon from the 80s? That cartoon really made me a fan of Ghostbusters. Yeah, I watch it from time to time on YouTube. And, we've talked about what other Haslabs could they do in the future. And I think there's a market for the real Ghostbusters Proton Pack. However, I don't think there's as much of a demand for it. So I think it may be a failed Haslab, unless it was somehow way cheaper than the OG Afterlife pack. Dave says, Real Ghostbusters is such a great watch for a cartoon from the 80s. Yeah, it still holds up. All right, now that review is done, let's go into nerd news. And a lot of stuff happened after we finished last week as the day continued, as we went into Tuesday. So we're going to end up going back to Ghostbusters. Just wait. But for now, one of the big things last week, which was insane, was finally the drop of the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. And it looked amazing. What's crazy is this was such a big deal that it made the news. Like legit made the news. And it even made the news more specifically because the trailer was supposed to drop, I think it was like Wednesday, and then ended up coming out Tuesday because somebody leaked the trailer. I could have it wrong. Maybe it was Monday into Tuesday. Either way, this is over from the BBC. At first glimpse, the sixth game in the Grand Theft Auto series has finally been revealed after the trailer for the long-awaited blockbuster was leaked. Developer Rockstar pressed publish 15 hours before a heavily trailed release after a low-quality copy spread online. The 90-second teaser confirmed the game will be set in Miami-inspired Vice City and star a female protagonist, Lucia, for the first time since the 1990s. But the wait isn't over. The game isn't due to be released until 2025. Now, I thought there would be a lot of backlash when they announced it would be a female lead. I was like waiting for it. I forget which meme page it was. I immediately jumped in there and even wrote there, waiting for the angry comments. But I didn't see a lot. And I'm curious. I'm not going to look them up here because I don't want to give anybody any kind of clout. But I'm curious how many of the like go woke, go broke people made videos bashing this having a female lead and then like either retracted it, or people in the comments were like, all right, you're doing too much. It actually looks dope. So we'll see. But 2025 as a release is insane. Insane. LeBron in the house. Good to see you. Maybe they do a back and forth. It says, is there only one protagonist? You know, maybe they do back and forth. Like Spider-Man. I don't have it here on my list of things, but another big thing was Spider-Man 2 for PS5 did not win any video game awards last week. But I also didn't see a lot of people talking about the awards anyway. And there was actually a thing saying how like 13% of the show was actually awards. The rest of it was like talking and trailers. So I didn't really cover it or write it down as like noteworthy. But maybe it's like that game where you just jump back and forth. And that's right. Thank you, LeBron. Everybody, don't forget to hit that like button. All right. This one was fun to me. This came out last week. And PeterMcKinnon is a very popular photographer. If you are into photography and, creating just videos, you probably have stumbled across PeterMcKinnon. He, for a while, was doing like the Adobe Premiere type videos, very short-lived, and then he just went all photography. But he does a lot of clickbaity videos or clickbaity thumbnails. He's smart. He knows what he's doing, even though I hate it sometimes. But he did one that said, Canon started making toys, ? And, of course, I clicked on it.
Tension, understanding, realization that Canon make silly little toys. The R5 specifically is nothing more than a plastic silly.
So when I saw this, I thought, is he about to, and that's why this is the genius of it. I'm like, is he about to say he's done with Canon? Is Canon about to say they're done with the R5 and there's going to be a brand new Canon camera coming out? Is this finally going to be my chance to afford a Canon R5? For record, Canon R5, brand new, $3,000. So your boy got excited. Your boy got very excited.
This is a Canon R5, but it's a Canon R5 that transforms into Optimus Prime. So I figured we would have some fun here and do...
And completely trolled me. Completely trolled me.
Absolutely nothing of value.
You see these on Hasbro Pulse. By the way, I didn't realize until this video, the lens actually disconnects. I thought that was a pretty cool detail. But you see this all the time on the site. Let's see. Here it is. And, it's pretty expensive. Like this one is $131. It's also an R5 body. And it's a gimmick. It's like a gimmick toy that you're just like, I'm good. Whatever. But seeing it here on Peter McKinnon's channel to 107,000 views, I was curious, and I wanted to look at it with you guys together. I was curious to see if it's sold out or anything, which I don't even see that version anymore in here. see here. Yeah, that version is not even on the website anymore. But still here. I thought I'd see other videos from other YouTubers trying to ride that bandwagon. Nothing. And I thought at some point he would even say like, this is sponsored by Canon and sponsored by Hasbro. But no. It was just him. And then he had his editor here.
What did you just say? Is that a thing? Matrix of the bin. What is this? Like, is that his heart?
Matrix of leadership or something?
Matrix of leadership? What did you just say? Is that a thing? Matrix of leadership? Can I put that on my business card?
Matrix of leadership.
You shouldn't have to force anything. Get ready for the...
I'm curious if he's going to start doing toy photography and if that's going to blow up. A lot of us already do it, but I was curious to see like if this is going to continue.
Before time began.
It's not really there yet.
Before time began.
It's better than I can do.
Before
I can't do it.
Don't give up, Peter. Don't give up.
Before
You are Optimus Prime.
I can't make the voice.
You're all the way from Sweden. Make the voice.
Before time began.
But I can't. Like, I'm trying to.
I have witnessed their capacity for courage.
That was good. You had it.
You gotta add in a little bit of reverb on this.
Okay, yeah.
The Matrix of leadership.
You just really love Transformers, eh?
So yeah, I thought it was a fun video. I was curious to see, and I'm still curious to see if we'll get more toy stuff from a big or the biggest photography YouTuber out there and others. Will they dive into the world of toy photography, and will Hasbro start really bringing in like partnerships with like influencers? Like, will that be a thing? Who knows? We know that they partner with Adam Savage, which we'll show later, but I don't know. It might be stupid, but I just thought it was interesting. I just thought it was interesting. All right, continuing on. We did get a drop. We finally got a Haslab in hand. The Cobra Hiss tank has started to arrive. And this was the first Haslab that I considered actually backing. Because speaking of toy photography, when this was announced and revealed, I thought it'd actually be pretty cool. I thought it'd be pretty cool to take some photos with the Hiss tank, with your Cobra Troopers, with your G.I. Joes, with Marvel Legends, everything at the 6-inch scale. I was pretty excited for it. So everybody started dropping their videos. I forget the YouTuber who I think was like the first one on my timeline. Not somebody I follow, but he was one of the first ones. His views blew up. Shout out to him. And then everybody else started getting theirs, in the mail. I was watching Yukon Phil's toy hunt this week, yesterday or day before. And he mentioned the tank. And I got to say, after watching these videos, I'm kind of happy I didn't back it. Now, let me know if you guys if you have it, if you're happy, if you're upset that you didn't get it. Actually, Patrick, Dan Who was who I was going to show the video of. But I was like, I feel like most of you probably know Kyle more than Dan Who, so I didn't pull it up. But let me know what you think about this. Seeing this in all the reviews, knowing that it was $300, I'm a little disappointed. Only because at a similar price point, people are barely able to carry a Razor Crest, right? And then as he's going through the features, as they're all going through the features, when they open up that back door, seeing that there's only one seat in there, I thought you're going to be able to put like multiple troopers in there. There's only the one seat. The weapons rack here, it's going to be hard to put weapons. I don't know. I thought you could do more with it when it was going to be in hand. And you could probably still do a lot. But I think at, the 200 range, I wouldn't have felt so bad about it. But I don't know, $300. After seeing the reviews, I think I'm good I didn't get it. But as I've mentioned in other streams, I think I'm at the part of my collector's journey where I'm shifting away a little bit from the figure collecting and more into, or back to what I originally was doing, which is collecting things I can use outside of this room. Cosplay props, cosplay things in general. I can go to another event with the, stuff I can interact with more so than just a figure. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stop collecting figures. I just, my limit is lower. Like, I'm not going to overspend on just something for a photo, if that makes sense. I was going to try to replicate a wall, and I was having brain farts. That humming's really throwing me off. I'm glad you guys can't hear it. I mean, the Proton Pack hum is a sexy sound. I will say that. But it's really like starting to like throw me off because it's just going in my ear. Before I continue, let me catch up with the comments here. LeBron saying Spider-Man 2 is so epic. Yeah. I was not, at first I was like, wait, how does that game not win an award? But then upon talking about it with Sal, because Sal's only now playing it for the first time, I was like, you know what? The game is cool, but after like 10 minutes, I don't know. I feel like the story has much to be desired. So I'm okay with it not winning any awards. And it might be blasphemy. I get it. I'm prepared for the hate. But it might be, I think the game might be a little overhyped. K-Walk says there won't be backlash, people not speaking their minds for fear of woke police. What were we talking about there? Oh, GTA. Right? Is that what we were talking about when you said that? LeBron said he would love one of those cameras, the R5. Yeah, for sure. K-Walk says Golden Globe noms are out. Lots of streaming shows. On the nerd side, nods for Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I in talking about it, because Anthony just watched it, I think the movie just tries to do too much at one time. I feel like Across the Spider-Verse, the runtime is way too long. As Anthony pointed out, maybe it should have just been a Gwen Stacy movie. But then they were like, you can't, I feel like in their minds, they're like, I can't do that. It's Miles Morales. It's his story. So you need to bring him in. It just does too much. So I think I have to see part 3 to really wrap my head around how great are these movies in that franchise. Because I like them, but I don't know. We're ranking it this week, actually. Where is it? List. All right. Yeah, so we ranked the Spider-Man movies this week, and we have those two in the top 3. I'm inclined to move Spider-Man 1 into the top 3. I just feel like, well, no, I like Into Spider-Verse. Into Spider-Verse is good, but I feel like the Across the Spider-Verse and No Way Home, both multiversal movies, just try to do too much for no reason, and I feel like it drags them down, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, going back to comments. What a troll, yeah. I was happy there for a second. Patrick in the house, good to see you. Oh, Peter did not buy Canon Prime. Somebody gifted it to him. It was probably Canon, actually. The C is from Cobra Grandma. Dre says, I'm there with you, bro. I have shifted my collecting as well. Common Rider props are coming back to the house in 2024. There you go. Aaron says, Spider-Man 2 came out too late to really be considered for the awards. No. No, it was nominated. It just didn't win. Pretty sure, right? It went up against other games that have been out all year. Yeah, but people flew through the game too. So I think there was enough time for people to like judge it. But the man collects. Good to see ya. Dre says Baldur's Gate 3, which won a ton of awards, was out September 3rd, 2023. Spider-Man 2 is a fantastic game and has so many elements in it that make it solid. Chris in the house, good to see you. It's been a while. Welcome back. Ranking the Spider-Man movies is darn tricky. Also, hello. There you go. It is. You know, even when ranking the Marvel movies, there's such a divide between the good and the bad. Like I feel like Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2, like nobody's going to argue those being at the bottom. I feel like Far From Home, Homecoming, The Amazing Spider-Man, all very forgettable. When you think about the best Spider-Man performances, it's none of those. You might debate how good Peter Parker is or how good the Spider-Man is. But when you're talking about like the best movies, I'd say there's really three. And it's probably these three, depending on who you're talking to. But then as people write down their list, that's when they start remembering No Way Home. And then, they give respect to the OG. But these here, it's like, yeah, they're at the bottom of the list. So, yep. Cool. All right. Let's go into box office real quick before we head into crowdfunding. Last week, we had The Boy and the Heron take number one spot. Didn't know this was a movie. I feel like it's a Studio Ghibli looking movie from that picture there. Doesn't say. But either way, that was number one. Killed it internationally. We had... Oh, Dave says, ouch, agree to disagree on the Spider-Man order. What's your order? Type it in the chat. Hunger Games number 2, that was a bit of a shocker. That movie's still going strong. People really like that movie. And people are also really enjoying Godzilla -1. Really enjoying that movie. And then rounding out top 5, Trolls Band Together and Wish. It is Studio Ghibli. All right, cool. I'll check that out for sure. So right now, it's good to see Die Hard on there. It made it up to 14. The Marvels is down to 12, and the Marvels numbers may not even be accurate because Disney said they're going to stop giving out the numbers on that one. So last we looked at it and logged it, the Marvels was a total 197, and they have it here 199. All right, so they added some money to it. But yeah, Marvels is dead in the water. This might be your new normal. As people try to say that theaters are coming back and that, you don't know, like people are always going to want to go to the theater, blah, blah, blah. The new normal is number one that weekend, 10 million. The new normal that weekend, 20 million. And then every so often you have an outlier. You have a, you have a Taylor Swift drop at 92. You have a Five Nights at Freddy with 80. But look, if I put this in release order, speaking domestically when it comes to opens, Hunger Games 44, Marvel's 46, Five Nights 80, Taylor 92, and then everything there before that is under 40. until Barbie. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, and then you drop again. Indiana Jones, Spider-Verse, then you drop. So you're going to have those every so often legacy titles come out that gets people to go. But your new normal, I think, in the movie theater world is we'll say sub $30 million movie as far as a release goes. They got to mix it up. They got to change it up. They got to do something. Because it's a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. I watched a Robot Head video today on Godzilla -1, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. So everybody's saying to see it in theaters. But I don't know. I checked viewings in my area, and like the earliest viewing was like 4 p.m. And I was like, no, on my day off, I'm not trying to do that. So the theaters got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. Or these studios got to figure out, put it up for streaming so I can just rent it, buy it, or whatever. Days Dimension says Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man No Way Home, Homecoming, Into Spider-Verse, Across Spider-Verse, Far From Home, Amazing 2, Spider 2, Spider-Man 3. You have Spider-Man 2 all the way down there. That's crazy. Under Amazing Spider-Man 2. People have Spider-Man 2 in their like top superhero movies all time. That's crazy. K-Walk had a couple questions. Let me switch out of this screen here. She says, just got a PlayStation 5. Any recommendations for a beginner game? Follows up with, also, any suggestions on where to sell old PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and Wii systems? Should I go to GameStop or sell through eBay, Facebook Marketplace? Nobody answered that yet. Oh, yeah, I figured you meant 5, yeah. As far as selling the systems go, you could try eBay. I've been a fan of Mercari. I like using Mercari to sell figures. I'm not sure what the demand is as far as systems on there. Nostalgia is still in, so there are plenty of people out there who probably want to buy an old system. So you could probably make decent coin on there. Kraft is saying Facebook Marketplace is what he recommends. So I would look at both of those. Actually, look at all of them. Look at eBay, Facebook, Mercari, see what's selling, how much people are selling for. You know, you can select the sold filter to see like what did they sell for. Definitely don't do GameStop. GameStop's going to give you like $5 for that stuff. They probably don't even take it anymore. Dre's also saying Mercari. Yeah, I like Mercari a lot. I do. All right. So let's end today's show over on the crowdfunding front. Apologies in advance for volume.
16.
Got an ad. Of course, there's an ad. All right, so pour one out. R.I.P. to the Cobra Mothership. From watching the videos, they've been trying. They've been upping their ads, their social posts, YouTube posts, really trying to sell the mothership. Rightfully so. I got nothing. I guess the question I was going to say was, I don't know if they're still going to make it. From what they're saying, it sounds like it's still going to be made, even if it doesn't hit the goal. So, curious to see if any of you happen to buy it or get your hands on it. I would love to see a review about it. But this one, this is rough. And even going into the the Haslab, right now, let's see. They've had a good streak of funded projects that are less than the 500 mark as of late. What was the Ghost 4 again? Oh, that was 5. So that one hit 21,000. So I wonder, I've been trying to wrap my head around the mothership. I'm curious how much of it is the fact that the two in the box came out at the same time. Obviously, there's a market for G.I. Joe because they just had 2 successful backings. The tank sold for 3. The Dragonfly sold for $275. So there's a market there. But I think part of the issue is, one, the reaction figures. I still think the reaction figures are way overpriced. They're still going to do the O-rings, which are going to be overpriced. That's part of it. But they're also coming on the heels of Cat's Lair. And I think ultimately it was just a perfect storm. You just grabbed 500 off people for Cat's Lair. Hasbro just knocked out a successful Haslab and then launched a new one in the same price point. So, to T3's point here, they need to wait for this one. There's got to be financial reasons why they pushed it now, but it was too soon. And even on the Hasbro front, if they launch another Haslab tomorrow, that thing better be cheap and amazing, because I don't think a lot of people are gonna. That's a lot of money to drop. Let's see. This year, people have dropped $275. What was it 200? $475. 5, so 9. We'll round it up to 1,000. And then how much did Cat's Lair go for? I forget. Was that 500 also? It's 1,500 on some massive pieces that, who knows where you're going to fit that. And then a final 300. We got 1,900 maybe. We'll just round up to 2,000 after tax and shipping on everything. So you're asking for $2,000 from collectors on a handful of stuff. Yeah. RIP. If we do an end of the year, we will do an end of the year type of show, but if we do awards, I wouldn't do an L of the year, but I think this year one of the top stories has been crowdfunding. We lost a couple. This one won't back. The Nitro stage won't back. But I don't think we can keep doing this. There's got to be a limit. And as a smaller company like Super 7, even though you haven't done that many on your own, you may have to be all right, I got to be aware of what's going on out there in the field and either try to time it in between or just not do any. Let everybody else do that stuff and we just do our own thing. I don't know. But let's head over to the Haslab. So last week when we were talking, we were trying to reach 18,000. We were trying to reach the final tier. And as I mentioned earlier, after we were done filming, this came out 4 days later. What was that? Wednesday, maybe? Thursday? Adam Savage drops the Hasbro Ghostbusters Ghost Trap and PKE meter video, and this put it over the edge.
Community is, and it is truly a community, and it's a conversation with them the whole way along, and we get input from them, and we know that they're not just going to buy it and put it somewhere. No. They're going to experience it.
Use the hell out of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's in a lot of online communities where people are sharing information, there is with every community, a moment where the community decides to be open or closed. And the Ghostbusters community, really from the very get-go, some of the earliest artwork that came out of the GB Fans Club were how to make your own proton pack if all you have is a hardware store account and about $50.
Yeah.
And everything stems from that, to me, of that kind of generosity of spirit.
We wouldn't be able to do.
So, genius move. Absolute genius move. Adam Savage, huge Ghostbusters fan. Adam Savage is massive in the prop creator community. A lot of people would know him from Mythbusters, of course. But having him get his hands on this prop the week before the fund ends was pure genius. Absolute genius. The crowdfund jumped over 1,000. Over 1,000 after this video released. Now, for one, you could say him being an influencer helped. Oh, it's an ad. I was like, wait, what just happened? You know, you could say him being an influencer helped, but also just having him mess with it, hold it, you know, roll it around, try out the features. Like, it answered a lot of the questions we had about the build quality of this pack and would it be worth the $300? I'm not going to bullshit you. After watching this video, I almost thought about backing a second one. I was like, one to keep in case I break the first one. Like I want to take these with me in my cosplay. Like seeing this, like there's a part where he tests even the wheels on it. I missed it somewhere. Here you go.
Give this a shot here. Dude! I never thought I'd get so much satisfaction.
Like it sounds heavy. Like it has actual weight to it. Like I want to take this when I'm doing Ghostbusters cosplay things. So I'm still debating it. I wish, man, if this thing was like 200, if they made the trap on its own $200, $150, man, people buy the shit out of this thing.
That is fantastic.
We lost our screen in there. But
oh yeah.
Now's a good time to talk about the screen being removable.
Now they I've seen this come up as like rumors, speculation. There's been like photo leaks. There's been this whisper in the wind of Hasbro releasing previously released Haslabs like as dumbed down versions. Like not as many features, not as much of a paint job, etc. They should do that with this. I think if there's a moment in time to drop something mass produced and to save yourself the money, you just take away some stuff, it'd be the Ghost Trap. Do whatever you gotta do to like cut your production costs down, but they should do that. Now, sadly, it's coming to an end. It's been a fun run. I was excited for what a stretch goal announcement would be. And I thought a lot of other Haslabs had stretch goals. Apparently not. We were looking through it the other day with Anthony, and a lot of Haslabs just had 4 tiers. But I swear the last couple in my head had like 3 tiers, and the 4th one was like a later reveal. A lot of them, the later reveals were not going to come with the Haslab. Like I remember with the Ghost, they announced that Sabine on card figure, not coming with the Haslab, but would be released. I remember with Giant Man, if you hit the certain tier, the Wasp figure would be released, not with the Haslab, but separately. So maybe because those were in my head, that's where I was thinking, oh, this one has to have a stretch goal. To our surprise, they did make a stretch goal, but wasn't quite what I was hoping for.
It must be you sitting around talking about how
Really, pardon the pun here, but we know that the fans are going to wear their love for this on their sleeves, and
Literally on their sleeves, right?
and so having these things as part of that, and as I mentioned, it's such a collaborative effort. It's a big, broad team, and we're always bringing ideas to the table. And unveiling these patches as part of the campaign.
That is a lovely looking patch.
Now this is the original.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
about all of this, so
yeah.
we wanted to make sure it's a little.
It's so funny because like the
Little imperfections are actually
1970s a staple
course, a little
food.
a custom Haslab
Oh,
patch.
the black and yellow stripes. Oh, that is very cool. Are there any even more exclusive?
Has yet to be unveiled. Oh man, I had it so well hidden just in case it's accidentally revealed. So this is
KO,
the
good to see you.
Ghostbusters Engineer Core patch.
That is freaking sweet. And this is you guys are releasing this, or
Provided
maybe
we
releasing
we reached that tier, we're right now just above 16,000, almost halfway
All
to
right.
17,000. The goal. I mean, we've met the goal to make this. This is going to happen.
freaking
Right?
awesome.
And 20,000. If we get to 20,000 backers,
20,000. That's all
this
it
new
takes.
batch is
And
unveiled.
we all get these. Come on, guys. Come on.
I was disappointed. I knew it had to be something to complement the release. And don't get me wrong, you need the patches, obviously. Like you have to have your cosplay patches for the packs, but another patch being, I don't know. Like how many patches are you gonna rock on
This
your
is going to happen.
Freaking awesome.
on your jumpsuit, But maybe you just maybe this encourages you to just make more than one jumpsuit. Like this is my second one. I don't really think I need another jumpsuit, but maybe I make one that is a more engineer style jumpsuit, or I make a vest or a jacket and attach, some of these to it. But I was disappointed. I was hoping it would be the carrying case, or something I could use as a prop, because this is also something you can buy on Etsy. Like people will make this patch. This is not something hard to come by. So disappointed is what it is. At least we're getting it. We're getting all the perks. So overall, it is a win. It is a win. But it's funny, they also don't update this. Like they didn't add the patch as an update here. There's even like an updates tab on the app, and it doesn't have the patch in there. But we'll get the holsters, which is great. The patches to go along, great. I hope the Spirit pack and third-party ghost traps can fit into this. If they do, major win. Yeah, the blueprint, I'd love to get that framed. All right, let's see here. Chris saying Adam Savage is a legend. Yep. Patrick saying that was probably the first time people saw the Haslab through him. Yeah. There was that other video that dropped, that YouTuber that was at, I forget the conference in London. It was like a Comic-Con, but I feel like it was even a Hasbro specific one. But it was at the Comic-Con. He saw the trap in person, the PKE meter. They were early prototypes, but still looked pretty good. So that was the first time that we saw it outside of their release video. But then Adam Savage getting it, again, even just that roll and hearing it and it not falling over because it's so light, I was like, all right, this is worth it. Personally, they failed on stretch goals, in my opinion. Failed big time, yeah. But they got to make that profit. And that's the thing, too. If making a stretch goal be a patch helps with the profit so that we can get more R&D on something else, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, to be honest. But if it doesn't, then, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Making the holsters stretch goals. I already know people will be making a better version of the patches that are part of stretch goals. Yeah. They were talking about doing a dumbed down version of the Hiss tank for retail, but we'll see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Patch collecting is a big thing in the Ghostbusters community. Like some people trade challenge coins. That is true. Toy Fair UK. Maybe it was that. I feel it was like D23 or something. No, that's a Disney one. It was like a number. It had like a number in it. It was a Hasbro thing. So there it is. I debated doing a stream tonight, going into midnight, to see how far it goes. People have done it in the past as Haslabs were going to different tiers, but we've already hit all the tiers. So not sure there's anything really for me to live stream about. If they pull a last minute Hail Mary and they're like, oh, if it gets to 25,000, we'll do blank, then maybe I'll do a last minute stream. But otherwise, 21,000. As a reminder, the Proton Pack did 19, so it's already past that, which we predicted. $21,768, so we just passed the Ghost, way beyond Giant Man. Not yet at the Dragonfly. Not at the Deathosaurus. And not at the Hiss Tank. All right. So not the biggest fund of the year. But who knows? Who knows? If they do something else, if they announce one more thing, maybe I'll stream to see if we get there. But all right, it is my time. Have to head out so I can do the job to afford to buy all this stuff. But let me know if you guys are excited for the Haslab. Let me know if you're excited for more camera transformers. And if you could do the next Haslab, whatever the franchise, what would it be and how much would it cost? And tell me why I should go back to the movie theater, because I have no other reason to outside of Godzilla. And even then, I'm really debating just waiting until it's on home release. But thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Nerdy Coffee every Monday, 9 a.m.-ish a.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Every Thursday, 8:15 p.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated. We have Hey Archer Live. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Head to nerdaffiliated.com. Get some cool merch like the Nerd Buster patch. Talk about patches. And we are less than a month away from being able to reapply for monetization here on YouTube. Turns out my watch hours dropped since the last time that we got monetized. So I got about 100 something watch hours, I think, to make up. So in the next couple weeks, you may see a rev up in content just to get there, so that when we can reapply, hopefully we're not blacklisted anymore. We can come back. But I appreciate all you channel members paying $1 a month over at nerdaffiliated.com. Got to do another member-only stream. Last week, the wires got crossed with scheduling with all of us. So hopefully we can get another one out there soon. If not, we'll just do solo stuff for members only. We don't have to have the whole group involved in that. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Oh, check out Nerd Affiliated on TikTok and on Instagram. Dropping lots of shorts and stuff over there. Peace. We're out of there. We're out of here. Happy birthday, Randy. See you later.